Live from the back of a moving U-Haul in the heart of Columbus, it's Tacky Tablecloth!
Welcome back to another episode of Tacky Tablecloths. We are joined today
Me, Matt from Atimera.
All right.
What is wrong with you?
Today we have a special guest. We have two members of the band Atimera. We have. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
I'm Quill, and I do vocal stuff.
I'm Matt, and I'm the drummer
Again?
Yeah.
Did you stop being the drummer for a second?
He did for a second, actually.
Most of the time, yeah.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that.
No, we don't.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, right on. So you guys are a local band out of Columbus,
Yep.
I would assume.
Yep. Hopefully.
Yes.
No, they're actually based out of Maryland.
Maryland, cool.
Yeah, they flew
Oh,
all the way
man, what brought
into
you
our
here?
U-Haul for this.
Yeah, so we are recording once again in the back of a moving U-Haul. As you know, if you're listening to the show, the whole 10 people that listen to this show.
Oh, it's 10 instead of 4.
It's 10. Oh, wow.
Okay.
Oh, no, it might be 20. I don't know. It depends.
I mean,
you
there's
know,
probably more
episode to
people
episode.
Since you guys are on here than usual.
Oh yeah. So yeah, if you're listening to this and you're a fan of the band, welcome. We get rowdy here. We have a lot of fun. So let's just talk about the band a little bit. How do you guys know each other? How the band sort of come to be? I don't know a lot about your history. Alex sent me your music. I listened to it. Party on, man. Yeah, it's good shit.
Go ahead, Quill.
Yeah.
So I guess it started with Mike Coletti, who is our guitarist. He used to be the guitarist of That Ship Sailed, and he was looking to make a new project. So he posted on a music group on Facebook, trying to look for members, and snagged up Matt.
Yeah.
And then they went through a few member changes, a couple
lot
of
more than a few. More like 50 of them. But it's
no, there was,
that's how it goes, man.
there was a number of them. They got to a point where they had a clean vocalist but not a screamer. The clean vocalist couldn't do screaming as well, so they brought me in to do just screaming. And then we had some issues happen with like some of us in the band and stuff, and ended up with just me doing it. So yeah, we now have the lineup we have. I brought Greg, our bassist, in, who's fucking awesome, and then
He's taking over the clean vocals, the backup vocals too. So
yeah, he's doing backup vocals, which is great. And then you brought in Justin,
Yeah, I
who's
brought
the
in-
other
Yeah,
guitarist.
and he's just
So-
a weirdo. But
He is a fucking weirdo.
I mean, I've
If
only
you can
gotten
play
to know him a
guitar,
little
it's
bit,
cool.
but-
You can be a weirdo in a band.
Yeah.
he's extra weird.
I've been in several bands with several weirdos, so I know how it is.
Risky.
Oh,
Risky, risque, if you will. Right
Do you
on.
care to elaborate on that, or is that
Just
the
listen to the
extent of...
997 podcast. You'll hear what I'm talking about.
Okay. I listened to some of that, but I didn't get through the whole thing. Especially because the dude kept calling you guys Atimera, and I was just like, really?
Yeah. I mean, in all fairness, it is a made-up word. So, like,
Yeah.
you know.
Did you just like come up with that out of nowhere? Were you just like, because I know Matt told me that you designed the logo or like the typing and everything, or the font, I guess, for lack of a better word.
So actually, I didn't design the font, but I designed our our head design, our
Okay.
black work statue head.
Okay.
But my friend Amanda did the typeface,
Okay.
which was sweet.
I got that backwards on.
Yeah.
Here I am talking about the other guy, and I'm doing just as bad on that.
That's all right. We don't do a lot of research on this show. We sort of have people on. We just ramble for a bit.
Yeah, I just
That's
go
how it
off
goes.
of whatever I remember Matt telling me when it's like 5 in the morning and I'm getting yelled at by my boss every time I stop and talk to him.
What's up, Amanda or Ashley, whoever?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, you guys used to work together, right?
Well, I work for
Alright.
Coca-Cola, so.
Oh right, right.
I
Okay,
didn't
yeah,
think
he was.
you wanted to say the company name, so I wasn't gonna say it.
Oh, that's
Pepsi.
okay.
I work for Pepsi.
Yeah,
Oh
see,
my God.
Pepsi, we've been trying to get a sponsorship from ever since we started.
Well, I won't let me on the fucking air.
Yeah, we plug them every single episode, and they still have not sent us a check.
A little
It's
bit.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't hold your breath, man. Pepsi.
No.
Those sons of bitches.
He was telling me I should shoot for like Diet Raid or Diet Right. Is that
Like
yeah.
RC
RC
Cola.
7-Up.
Yeah.
7-Up,
Thought
Dr.
they might
Pepper,
be a
or
little
something
more
like that.
receptive.
No, I don't think so.
No, not even them.
No.
No.
I mean, you got it in with
Well-
Kroger. You've worked with Kroger. You know, we can get that. What's their brand, like Diet or Dr. K
Yeah.
or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can get some money from them.
That's what Quill lives off of.
Oh really?
No, not at all. Not even close.
This is an off-brand soda
That's mostly
house.
just the
He
shit
lives
that I
off
would
of
pick up.
Jameson. So.
No. That's only
Jameson.
during
Oh.
shows.
Oh God.
That's when we go to record and when we go to play a show. I always have like 2 shots of Jameson before I do anything vocally because it helps to loosen up my vocal cords.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why I used to smoke, because
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh yeah, I want the Tom Waits raspy vocals, so I'm just gonna smoke a pack a day.
I mean, I do smoke, but that's not why.
He's a smart boy.
that's what Nick and I used to
Yeah.
think.
It is just so many people I know all have their own different like. Oh, I drink this before whatever. Or I drink that because it's like coats the throat. It's just
Well, you don't want to coat your throat when you do like harsh vocals and screaming and stuff. So I actually work with a vocal coach in town for my clean vocals because I really was not. I didn't know how to properly breathe and stuff to do clean vocals, but I could scream for fucking like 6 hours straight. So I got in touch with Danny Harness, who is a phenomenal musician in town, and she started doing vocal lessons, and I used to work with her at a bar. And I was like, hey, like, you want to do this? And she was like, yeah. And that's one of her tricks that she does before she plays a show is she'll have a shot or 2 of Jameson to help, like, loosen the throat but not lose that raspiness. So
Is it just sort of like a relaxant type thing, or is it anything to actually do with like the vocals?
it loosens the throat.
yeah.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
it does help
So-
to loosen it up a
Yeah.
little
Okay.
bit. But I mean, like, I don't drink caffeine the day that I'm doing a show or
Yeah, caffeine's.
and I don't do
not
it
good
before
for-
I go to record, like, because that's going to tighten up my throat. So,
Right. Right.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've heard like tons of shit that like voice actors do. Where what's his name? Andy Serkis. He would drink when he was doing Gollum for the Lord of the Rings. He would drink like this weird mixture of like honey and lemon water. Like just chug that shit constantly to get it so he can Gollum, that kind of
Right,
shit.
yeah.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. He probably still had like bits of the honey just like clinging on his throat.
Yeah, right. So yeah, no, that's awesome. So how long have you been playing drums for?
Oh, jeez. Probably since I was like a little kid, like maybe like 5 or 7.
Oh.
I've played drums my whole life.
That-
So
Me too.
I
I
still
got
suck
we got a
at it,
drum
but-
set in the basement actually.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
we're
been
gonna pull
playing
it
since
up
I was
later,
like,
and you're gonna play it into the mic. Is that cool?
I mean, if,
we're gonna do an acoustic,
Yeah,
a surprise
we're gonna
acoustic
if you
set.
want to press
The
these,
acoustic set.
yeah, if you want to put these mics, I mean, go ahead. I guess.
I mean, there's a switch on here. I can lower the
Oh my
decibels a
God.
bit. I've
That would
recorded
go
music
down
with
very
these.
well, just the whole time.
Yeah. Well, I've recorded in this basement, and it's not a great area to
Yeah.
record.
Speaking
Lot
of,
of-
speaking of basement recordings, Will Carlson does a good job of that.
Oh yeah.
Because that's where
Yeah.
EP was done in his house pretty much. But he has like he makes it work pretty well. So
Oh,
Yeah,
right
he's
on.
got like soundproof curtains and
Oh,
like
yeah, that
a
helps.
lot of
Yeah.
like
all the
acoustic.
rebounds kind of go away.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good quality.
Yeah, because otherwise all you're getting is reverb.
Exactly.
Yep.
Just
Yeah,
yeah.
We don't need any of that,
Yeah.
Mike.
And is that the new EP, or are you talking about like stuff that you guys recorded under the previous name? Or,
Well,
like,
it's kind
you
of
have-
a both thing.
Okay.
Because we
Yeah.
had the songs we had with our old vocalists. We had to redo the vocals, and we just kept the songs because I mean, we spent so much money on them.
Well,
Yeah,
the-
no, that makes sense. That
Yeah,
makes complete
I mean, the
sense.
other thing is like me and Mike generally are the ones that write lyrics for any of the songs. The old vocalist couldn't really write lyrics very well, and then me and Matt actually wrote Captain Leroy. Yeah,
we made that song
lyrically.
freaking brutal.
Yeah.
You don't know what it is, though, because you won't come to our shows. But it's fine.
There was one show. It was sold out, and I was
There was
working.
2.
Shit, I'll
and
come
they
to your
both sold
show.
out, actually.
This
Okay,
piece
yeah,
of
I
shit
was
won't
gonna say,
come.
Every
Okay,
show
alright,
you guys
alright.
have played is sold out, right?
Well,
Well,
Not this
this
next one.
the show on the 28th is all local, so and it's a benefit show, so we're not like we don't expect it to sell out.
That is also. I mean, you're doing it for a good cause, so it's.
gonna
Oh yeah,
come
so
out.
Alex was telling me about that. What's this for?
It's for Dayton disaster relief.
Okay, for
Yeah,
all the.
Things that happen down there.
Yeah, we're asking for like Bravo is and all of us bands who are playing are asking for like money donations and also asking for like water bottles and like a lot of stuff that they need down there.
Yeah.
Like if you bring that to the show, that also counts as like
Anything helps.
payment
Pretty much. If this is
for
going
the
on air
show.
before Friday.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
and
That's awesome.
So that's this Friday, which is
The 28th.
28th. Okay.
Just so that's officially out there, so that
You heard
can
it
see
here.
Yeah. And, Big Room Bar, 7 p.m.
Yep,
Okay.
big room.
There we go. Official.
Awesome. Right on.
Okay. So Dayton is gonna be with The World I Knew, Kianami, and us, Atimera, and it's gonna be at the Big Room Bar at like 7 or 8 o'clock.
7.
And then the donation, the minimum is like $10, I think. So
It's a $10 suggested donation.
So
So it's like a free benefit concert, but you're encouraged to.
with the,
Yeah, or
the
you can,
quotation
like I
marks.
said, you can bring things like supplies that they
Right,
need.
things people need.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because a lot of the time with like donations and stuff like that, like physical items is a lot more useful than
Oh yeah,
funneling a bunch of money through
definitely.
some sort of charity
Definitely.
or something. Not the
Yeah. No, this is a legit thing. That
Yeah,
I think
cool, right on.
Misha and John are from Bravo are the ones that like kind of put this all together. So it's pretty legit.
right on.
But yeah, it's just easier to send actual supplies out than like the money where somebody then has to still go buy the supplies anyway. It's
Yeah.
just-
Right, and with like
Cutting
a lot
down.
of the stores and stuff down there not quite open yet.
that
Anything
makes sense
helps.
too. Yeah.
So how'd you guys get involved with that? Did somebody approach you, or did you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was Misha and John both. They came to us and was it Keegan from Kianami? He also hit us up for the show.
yeah, and I mean we were of course down because I've got friends who live in Dayton. Actually,
Yeah.
at the Hawthorne Heights show, 2 of my friends from Dayton came up to like see us or whatever and see Hawthorne, and our pit got really intense
Oh my god.
when we were playing, and my friend's girlfriend got her fucking knee broken.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I still feel bad about
And
that.
then walked on it.
Go to her
like-
to her fundraiser. If you're watching this, go to her Carter's fundraiser. There's a fundraiser?
I don't know.
Fundraiser? Is there?
Yeah.
Yeah. what is
Yeah.
it? I don't know the link to it, but it's on Carter's page. If you guys know Carter.
Carter
if
Hastings.
you send it to me, we can include it in like the
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can
Yeah.
put it in the
So
description and
that's
stuff.
along with like a link to the show
Yeah.
page and everything.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, man, that's brutal.
Is that the reason that you want me to go to one of your shows so
Dude,
bad?
I just don't like
to
you
get
in
my
general,
leg?
man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You want me to get my
Get
leg
injured.
broken,
It
too?
was insane. Like there was a video of my other friend Kensley who drove up from like near the Dayton
My
area.
mom took this video. Yeah.
And she just clocked somebody, dude. Like it was, he like hit her or somebody else we knew that was in the group with them, and like
Kendra's a
just
big fucking
knocked
girl,
his
dude.
ass.
She's a big fucking girl.
Well, and she's ex-military, so
And
like
ex-military.
she,
She's really, you don't fucking
and she's a personal trainer, so like
Oh,
she will mess you up.
She still got my fucking hat. If you're listening to this, Kenzie, I want my goddamn hat back.
yeah, give him his hat back.
Fuck.
What's on the hat? What kind of hat is it?
Body armor hat. It's my
Oh,
body armor
shit.
Hat.
Yeah,
She fucking
no,
has it.
that's Matt's. Like,
It's the-
this is the first time I've ever seen Matt without that hat on. Honestly.
Because
no.
goddamn, I have to wear a ponytail every day now. Are you serious?
Yeah, you should give that back because he looks too much like a samurai warrior right
It's
now.
it's
and
in
I
her
don't like
car.
Wake the
uh,
fuck
yeah.
up, samurai.
Greg, well, in all fairness, Greg made me feel confident about it. So,
Yeah, no, dude, you pull off a ponytail. I've seen some people with shitty ponytails. You got a good ponytail.
damn, I can name like 4.
Well, it helps because he's not balding. That's usually.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've played shows where there's like a bunch of like old man bands and some like Brian May looking motherfucker with like a
Jesus.
balding ass ponytail walks
Dude,
up.
I just don't get it. Like, shave your fucking head.
Yeah, I know. Like I'm balding, but like I'm I still got a little bit of hair. I'm just waiting to that point where like this part goes away and like okay now it's gone. I'm not
I know those guys that like it gets like it starts in the back right in the
Yeah.
middle and
Oh,
spreads
God,
out. I'm
yeah.
like, just fucking shave it, dude. Like just shave it. If you're that weird about not having hair, go to a tattoo shop and have somebody fucking put like
just put the avatar hair up top. Just-
Oh my god.
I saw this one tattoo this dude had. My parents always watch fucking Live PD, and there's one day I was coming
my
home from
God.
work, and this dude was on there getting arrested, and he had this tattoo of like an ant pushing a lawnmower on the top of his head, like right at the center of the bald spot.
Nice. Nice.
I'm like, that's the best way to own it.
I've seen one online where it's like down in the pube area, and it's like a
Oh,
stick
yeah.
man with a lawnmower.
Yeah.
The pube area.
You know, the pube area.
Fucking pube area.
If we want to get with the scientific terms here. What do you guys like musical influences? Like, where what did you kind of grow up on and
Like,
listen to?
Angel Maker.
Yeah. We have
Godsmack.
we have a lot.
kidding.
Oh, I was gonna say,
No.
I don't want to hear any of that, but okay.
No, we have a lot of influences actually.
much to count.
I mean, for me personally, I am heavily influenced by like pop punk and metalcore and like I really love Viking metal and stuff like that
Okay.
too.
Oh, hell yes.
So I take a lot of influence from a lot of different places, and like I even love country music. I love Creed. I love Nickelback. I don't care. I really don't.
All right, no judgments here.
So
Yeah,
like,
no.
He's getting it from me, but
but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of influences for me, and then Greg is awesome because he has a lot of blues and jazz influences, like
cool.
specifically blues stuff, which you can hear so like the soul in his voice when he sings, like it's great. So
Yeah, I mean, having a blues background is so useful in any sort of like rock metal genre. I
Yeah.
mean, that's where it comes from. So.
well, and he's from Georgia, so like he was down in the
Oh
shit.
yes,
So-
yes.
Born and bathed in the
he's
Down in the deltas,
I wish
Yeah.
he'd talk like that.
going to the crossroads. You see.
That would be amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh,
What'd you listen to growing
like,
up?
Growing up, like I gotta talk regularly.
Oh,
That's cool.
take your time. We have
I
we have all the
fumble
time
over
in the
just
world.
about everything I say. And
Uh,
I've done
blah,
this
blah, blah.
26 times now. So
Yeah, what was I saying?
26?
I got Thyroid is
Yeah.
Murder tattooed on my arm. Like I got the Hate album on my fucking arm. So I listen to a lot of that death metal stuff, like Angel Maker and all that crap, garbage.
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 I also
but you
listened
love
to
it.
like a lot of tantric growing up. It's like a lot of the alternative rock and like the rock roots, and I just kind of been in that wide area for my entire life. So there's just always an influence from wherever. Besides country and like Nickelback is gross, but
That's fine. I don't mind.
I mean, you can hate on them, but at least they wrote their own lyrics and everything. Like
Yeah.
they're not.
Oh yeah, they're not that bubblegum pop bullshit.
no, I'm just
They're
going,
definitely
I'm
not
just going
paying
with the
dudes
meme. I'm
to-
just
I
going
mean,
with the
my
memes.
my first ever concert was Alan Jackson.
Really?
Yeah, with George Strait, and I fucking loved it. I don't care.
Yeah, no, I mean
I was
that
going
kind
with
of
the
country
memes.
I like. I don't
Yeah.
like, and I'm not trying to pigeonhole a specific type of music, but like current country, I'm not so down with.
Oh, I
you know,
love
where
it.
it's-
Florida Georgia Line. I will go to one of their
Oh,
shows.
Lord.
One of their shows.
I was about to
anytime.
rip on them, but all
What's
right,
that guy's
that's
name?
cool.
Upchurch?
That's fine.
I love Upchurch.
Oh, he's funny.
I love
Yeah,
Upchurch.
he's like a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does music too.
I like the old classic country. The Johnny Cash, Dolly. I love Dolly Parton. I don't care what anyone says.
I love Dolly Parton.
Oh, thank
She's
you.
amazing.
Dolly is the fucking shit.
Honestly, man, if they would reproduce the albums, I'd probably listen to it. But I just can't stand like the way it sounds.
Listen to it on vinyl, fuckface.
Yeah, to me that's part of the
Hey.
charm is getting all that crackle,
The
and
old-
pop,
Yeah,
and
I
the
mean-
old analog
You gotta
recordings.
listen to it on a vinyl.
Oh, yeah.
If
You
you
got
let me
to.
listen to it on the fucking vinyl, I'll listen to it on vinyl. Cool.
I will go find a Dolly Parton vinyl tomorrow.
I guarantee
And my
you
shirt.
can find at least something for $1
Yes.
at like
Oh,
Half
hell
Price
yeah.
Books or
Alright.
Or
something.
some like
Well,
Ario,
and
Ario
all-
Speedwagon. That's always in the dollar bin.
No, we're talking about country.
Oh, okay. Well,
No, I mean, well,
Dolly's worth at least $20.
Evolved is right next to Used Kids
Oh,
Records.
okay.
so-
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
And-
place
Dude,
I
yeah, that
always
place is
say I'm
great.
gonna go to and never
I
do.
think that's where I got my Rubber Factory Black Keys album from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
RPM has a good selection, and Used Kids has a great selection. Magnolia Thunder Pussy, obviously, great selection.
Yeah, they're a little overpriced, but they have a good selection.
They have a crazy amount of different genres, and like a lot of things that you wouldn't even
everything.
know
Yeah.
Yeah.
that they would have there.
Oh,
They've
yeah.
got.
I
So,
think
like,
I think that's where I got Disintegration by The Cure.
Oh.
That was like the first time I ever went in there. I was like,
Yeah,
oh my God,
that's
yes.
definitely that's the first store I ever bought a record from was Magnolia Thunder Pussy.
Mm-hmm.
my first job was at a record shop.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
it
fuck
was a record shop that no longer exists, actually, from where I'm from, in Nitro, West Virginia, which no one's fucking heard of unless you've driven through it. But we had this record shop called Cat's Back Records, and it was just a small little like record shop, head shop. We sold like pipes and stuff too, but it was owned by this amazing like older hippie guy named Craig, and it was the best fucking job in the world. Like, I got to
hell
smell
yeah.
incense all day, look at all the new CDs when they came in, all the new vinyl when it came in. I got to, like, help out with choosing body jewelry and stuff like that, because I was already, like, gauging my ears at that point, stretching them out. So, yeah.
Yeah, right on. That sounds awesome. Okay, I just noticed that tattoo on your neck there. I have a T-shirt. It's a Rush T-shirt, but it has that logo on it. I think they use that for like one of their tours. So what exactly is that?
It's a Leviathan cross.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right on.
it's one of the 7 satanic crosses. It also is the alchemical symbol for sulfur,
Oh,
which
okay.
most people don't know. But yeah,
Okay, cool.
that, no.
Yeah, I just noticed that. I was like, shit, I have that. It's
Yeah.
a T-shirt.
a
I
lot of
kind of
people
know what that is.
A lot of people use it.
That's
Yeah,
why I
yeah.
had to change the make them believe name.
Oh yeah.
Our little Satanist here.
Yeah, I remember.
Are you a Satanist?
I am a Satanist.
Oh,
actually.
dude, right on.
Yeah.
I'm actually I just read the Satanic Bible recently.
It's on the way, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my God. Wonderful.
Yeah,
It's
there's some really great stuff in there. I mean, there's also a lot of different sects, if you will, of Satanism. There's also like Luciferianism, which I don't deal much in because that's actually worshiping the devil.
Yeah.
Satanism is literally just worship of the self and like fuck everybody.
Yeah, like I've been an atheist since I was like a teenager, but like I learned about Satanism like just a couple of years ago, and I was, I always thought it was the sacrifice and all that shit. Not
Everybody does.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, but when I
Everybody
learned it
does.
was basically just like a expose on Christianity or like major religions and saying like, oh well, you can believe in this and that's fine, but look at this from another perspective, that sort of thing. It's you're not actually worshiping a physical deity.
You're literally worshiping yourself. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
it's
and that's
about.
what I totally respect about it. Is, when I was reading through the book, I was just like, I think that the tenets of Satanism are so much more powerful than like the Ten Commandments.
They're more morally sound than.
I think so.
I mean, most of the Satanic Bible is more morally sound than most other religions in the world that I've found, because I studied a number of different ones.
Oh, yeah.
Different types of Christianity, Buddhism, Taoism. There's a lot of things that I've read through and seen, and there's some really great ones out there.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just Satanism makes more sense to me because I'm kind of a selfish dick. So like,
Oh, hey.
Shit.
Hey, when you're in this world, man, no one owes you anything. You owe yourself everything. You
Well,
gotta,
I mean,
you gotta
you
live
also-
for yourself.
it's-
Don't be
I mean, there's definitely parts to Satanism that are like, hey, if you do this, expect tenfold back.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. It does talk about certain things that are like kind of karmic.
yeah.
But
and that's sort of how the world works. Like
Yeah.
it's not some sort of like underlying force telling you like,
Yeah.
oh, you shouldn't be a piece of shit, because
Well, and the other
you're
thing-
fearing something.
the other thing is, too, with Satanism is that if somebody does something super fucked up, you are doing an injustice by not doing something about it.
Absolutely.
And whether that's whatever you want to do, whether it's violence, whether it's nonviolence, whether it's like speaking out, it doesn't matter what you do, but if you don't do anything, then you're seen as like just as bad as they are.
Right, because
So-
you're allowing it to happen.
Right. Like rapists, it literally talks about stuff like that in the Satanic Bible where it's like, go fucking do something for real and make sure it hurts. Like,
And I can totally get on board with that because
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of I don't like calling. I used to be pretty militant, but I don't like calling out religion
Yes, you did.
as much as I used to be. But like, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fucking hypocrites out in the world
Yeah.
that just like to be like, oh yeah, I love this religion and so and whatever, and they just don't follow that shit. They don't
No.
believe in that. They don't, they pick and choose
a
what
lot
they
of
want.
it is a societal persona, I guess,
Yeah,
if you
sure.
will. A lot of people are like, I'm this Christian, or I'm this Christian, or I'm Muslim, or I'm this, or I'm this, or I'm this. And I find that most of the time it's so that you can say you're a certain way to get away with shit, and that's not cool with me. By any
Oh yeah,
means.
exactly. Like, oh, that's just my religion. Like, well, yeah, but you're still an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And that, like, for me personally, I do still consider myself a Christian, but I try not to, like, advertise that out to people because I don't want them to have that perception of me of, like, this guy uses his religion to justify anything he does
Right.
wrong. And we actually since you're not exactly from here, like how long have you been in Columbus?
I permanently moved up here in 2012,
Okay.
so it's been a little while.
Do you know about like Xenos and?
Oh
all that?
yeah, I know
Oh,
about
okay.
Xenos.
Oh,
Trust me.
Yo.
Fuck Xenos.
Like
okay?
we did 2 whole
Yeah,
episodes.
yeah, 2.
all about. Xenos
Yeah, we
and
had-
all
It's
that
a
shit.
cult. It's
Yeah.
a fucking
It is a
cult.
cult. Well, that was the title of one of our episodes.
I
Is
used to
that
go- I
Xenos
used to-
is
I
a
used to go
cult.
to that fucking church.
Did
King
you?
Or whatever.
I know
yeah.
somebody who
Yeah,
was
yeah,
kicked
yeah.
out of that church because they somehow dug up his juvenile record, which is sealed. So somebody is doing something fucked up, and you better fucking quit because that's not cool.
Yeah, fuck you, Xenos.
But like, yeah, they dug up his juvenile record, and it was super fucked.
Yeah, I attribute Xenos to, equal to something like Scientology, which is just a
no, it is,
manipulative
but that's-
cult.
That's
Yeah.
just more what I was, tying into what you were saying
Yeah.
about like all the different types of religious beliefs and people just using that to justify
Yeah.
shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a guy on that. He was in Xenos for, God, how long did he say
Are
he
you
was?
talking
Mark.
about Mark?
Yeah, Mark.
Is it
Yeah,
Mark
he-
Joscalian?
No, it was Mark
damn it,
Kennedy. It was the founder of the Xenos as a cult website. and Instagram
.com.
and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we're
okay.
plugging you again, Mark. Good on you. Yeah, but no, he told us so much just fucked up shit about
Yeah.
what they do,
They're
and
disgusting, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're awful. Like
Like
Fucking lizard people is what they are.
They love to have parties.
Yes, that's the entire church.
They have parties in order to try to get more people, younger people, like college kids, to
yeah.
come
Even
and be
younger,
in there.
Yes.
And it's like, no, dude. You told me we were gonna fucking drink, and now it's a Bible study that you have me coming to, where there just
Yeah.
happens to be booze, so that I stay. No, fuck
like
that.
fuck this, I want to get fucked
What
up.
the fuck is that?
Hell no.
I mean, Jesus, I wanna
Jesus Christ.
get
I
fucked up.
remember one time we were supposed to be doing shots, and then they were pouring milk into the cups.
What?
Are you serious?
Oh, that's gross.
Dude, if somebody offered me a shot of milk when you said I'm doing shots, I'll punch you in the face. Like, no way.
I almost punched Greg in the face. When he
Where's
got
my
that shot of
booze?
water, but-
Who's got the hooch?
Dude, there's no way. I used to be a bartender and a bar back and shit. Like, I have been around alcohol and, like, bartending my whole life. Like, both my parents were bartenders. I absolutely love the bartending scene and, like, bars and stuff like that. They're just awesome. I love the culture of them. And if you ever fucking try to give me something and tell me it's something else, one, I'm going to pick up on it without even having to taste it. And two, I'm going to knock you out, use your tab, and then get the drink you told me you were getting me.
Greg,
Like,
Greg, you fucking hear that, Greg?
That there's
we
justice.
had to cut you off. You were
I did not
you
need
needed
cut
to be
off.
cut off.
I did not need cut off.
Yeah, you did.
I was fine.
You were fucked.
I was fine.
Was this during Matt's infamous 1 week bender?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I was fine.
I told him-
He had a fun vacation.
He bought me another
One week bender. Oh, this sounds fun.
I was really sad. I was really sad, and I was like, Quill, I need to be like social or something. And then
He had a week vacation, and he was
Yeah.
like, I want you to help me be more social, and like was feeling some type of way, and I was like, all right, but do you know what you're asking for? Like,
I did a good job. Like I said,
he did a very great job.
He did a good
Most
job.
people can't hang with me like for
I
all
had-
night.
I
They
had
can't
a-
even hang with me for a few hours because I will drink 4 Jack and Cokes within a matter of an hour and a half. So
See,
like,
and I drank
Ooh,
3 or 4
yeah.
shots of tequila. within
That's
an hour
him.
and a
That's
half.
Yeah,
not being
yeah.
sliced.
yeah.
See,
I got
That's a pregame, man. That's
biggest-
that ain't
biggest- The
shit.
biggest memory I have of this whole weekend, and the one that's been fucked with me, that I don't know what the fuck happened to me, is that I went to bed on the floor with my clothes on.
Okay.
I wake up outside the fucking room with my clothes off. I don't know. What
It was just your shirt, first of all, and second of all, I woke up when he came back in the room because he was staying with me and my girlfriend.
And I was like, what the fuck just happened?
And I woke up and he's like, coming in shirtless, and I was like, did you just go and fuck somebody real quick and then come back? Like, what the fuck just happened? Like, what
I
was
wandered
that?
out in the street. Hey, I'll trade my shirt for some ramen.
Well, he had
Come on.
his shirt with him, and
I
I
had
was
my
like,
shirt in
what
my
are you
hand.
doing?
I
So,
was-
yeah.
Oh, so you
And this-
stole the noodles. Okay, I see.
Basically, and then this is the day, like the day before or 2 days after, I pissed off somebody in their fucking couch because I slept on their couch in the same house because their roommates didn't want me to sleep on their couch. Okay, and so I went. I was like, okay, well then I'm not gonna sleep on your couch. So I went because they said, and they posted about me. They said I was a what was I, a dirty drunk guy or a sloppy drunk guy or something like that.
Oh, that's a compliment in my
That's
book.
what I said.
I think
hell
they said
yeah.
smelly.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I was like, okay, cool, I respect that. I'm gonna go upstairs and sleep with Quill,
Yeah.
like a dog. And I wake up outside the fucking
Cuddle
room.
up on the end of the bed.
I was so pissed. I thought because I could have fell on the stairs. Who does that to somebody?
No, I think he honestly just got so fuckered up that he like walked out of the room half asleep, tried to piss, couldn't find it. I don't know what happened, but
I know
like.
where the bathroom was, man.
And then when we woke up, he was like, "Did you like drag me out in the hall or something?" And I was like, "No, like what?"
You brought this upon yourself,
I was
brother.
like, "Dude, I woke up with you walking in shirtless. I thought some shit went down. Like I didn't know."
I didn't know. I don't even know if shit went down or not.
I just
who's the friend of ours that with the drunken bread story?
Oh,
You know what I'm talking-
Cameron.
Was that Cameron?
What happened?
Yeah, tell that.
My friend was just incredibly fucked. It was the first time he'd ever been drunk in his entire life.
That was the first time I've ever been drunk in my life.
Oh, really?
No, one time
Oh.
I'm taking the story
No, you're
afterwards.
fine.
No, I'll tell the story afterwards.
Okay.
Okay.
So he was just fucked. And he was in his pretty much brand new apartment at that time. And he got so drunk, we had to just shove him into his bedroom and be like, dude, like, you're being a menace. Like, you need to just go the fuck away. And he would just come out of his bedroom and, like, stagger down the hallway. And he just started demanding bread. So I was like, okay, like, I gave him a slice of bread and, like, sent him back on his way. And then, like, 5 minutes later, I hear his bedroom door opening, and I hear him, like, slam into the wall on the side because he's, like, you know, using the wall to walk back down the hallway. And he's like, I need more bread. And I'm like, dude, I already gave you bread. And he's like, I need bread to soak up the alcohol. And I'm like, okay, bread does soak up alcohol. I'll give you another piece of bread. Like, whatever. 5 minutes later, he comes back down. He's still holding the other piece of bread in his hand, and he's, like, demanding more bread. I'm like, no, dude, like... Eat your fucking bread and go to sleep. Like, stop bothering me. Because I'm trying to take care of like 10 other people who are just drunk as shit. Like this one kid had like locked himself in the bathroom and just it's just
That usually happens to you. Is you need to like you're sort of the guy that takes care of people once they've gotten too fucked up.
No, not anymore. That's why I try to get as shit faced as possible, so it's not my problem.
If you get fucked up first, they have to stay sober. That's how that works.
Exactly.
It's like there's a video he has of me so drunk that I like earthwormed out into the front patio.
Yeah, he was so sweaty it looked like he pissed himself.
I was literally
Just fell down like on the ground, just grabbed our apartment door, swung it open, and just rolled onto the patio.
I was like, I need air.
And our other roommates out there just like smoking a cigarette. And he's just like, what the fuck is going on here? It's just like, Jesus Christ. Oh, you also threw up upwards.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah, he went into our kitchen, and I thought he was going to throw up into the sink. He ended up throwing up into the bottom of the upper cabinets, and so there's just puke just like stained and dripping from the top. Yeah, we fucked that place up. We did not get our security deposit
Oh,
back.
I'm sure.
They always do their best to make sure you don't get your security
Oh,
deposit
yeah.
no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but we definitely had some.
some shit.
Some
What was the story you were gonna
It's not
say?
even close to the story you just told. Basically, I was sad. So, of course, I get drunk. First time I got drunk this time. It was off of like 6 beers. It wasn't even shots, okay? How did it go? Yeah, there was this girl over there. Me and her hitting off, right? We were doing good. Whatever. I go and I fall asleep in the bathtub.
Okay.
Yep.
He can hear
And
you.
she
Don't worry.
tries to wake me up, and she was naked. She tries to wake me up, and I'm just in the bathtub asleep. Well, I woke up, and she's banging my friend in his room. And I was so sad I left. That's the whole story. It's not that funny, but
I mean, it's kind of funny, but it's also mostly just sad.
I just woke up
That's
in the
pretty
bathtub.
sad.
I couldn't move my arms, and my friend's fucking this girl that was there for me. What the hell is my life?
That's like, damn. Did you have a talk with your friend about it? Like,
No, I just left.
No, I mean like after the fact.
No, I didn't want to talk about it. I just left.
Oh man, I would have done the same thing. I've probably done that same thing. Fuck that, man.
I'll tell you, bathtubs are comfortable, man. I don't care, man. I'm just glad nobody turned the water on.
I don't know about that, but if
Well, with you, I guess you'd be like the president that died in one of them.
it was Howard Taft or no William Taft.
William, yeah,
Yeah,
William
What's
Howard
that
Taft.
fucking name?
We've
I
only
know
had-
American history.
We've only had 50 of them.
Oh yeah, you're right. 55 or
50. Which one's Trump? Is he 55
I thought he was.
or 56?
I don't know.
Well-
Doesn't matter.
Hey, look at it. Dude, when people come to this country, they have to, like,
believe
take a
he's the
goddamn
56th.
test to know this shit.
6. What the hell?
I said 56.
How many Super Bowls have there been?
53?
There's been less Super Bowls than presidents. Let's put it that way.
It's a good thing.
Huh? No, there's been at least 50 Super Bowls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there have not been 50 presidents.
Oh, that's right. There's 46 presidents.
46.
46?
That sounds
45?
Oh,
45.
that's
Trump
right,
is 45.
Damn, we all would not be allowed back in this country, I think.
That's right, because Mark Cuban did that thing where he like made his jersey a 46 just to piss Donald Trump. I remember
Hey.
that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I have to use sports to remember everything.
I don't
in
even
life,
watch
it's true.
sports, dude.
Me either.
All your references doesn't make any sense.
He
to me.
he has like I like sports. This man is just an encyclopedia of sports knowledge.
Clearly not, because I couldn't remember the exact number of Super Bowls. So
I mean,
failing
any
a little
other
bit.
time you would know the entire like third string roster of like
Only-
some
only
random
for
team.
the team that I care about.
Well, sure. Yeah, the piece of shit
No,
Patriots.
let's not go there.
I don't even like football. Man.
I know.
Oh, do you even watch football?
I occasionally will watch the Super Bowl, but
I can't.
I don't
I
watch.
can't picture Quill just sitting there and watch the Super Bowl.
I get pretty fucking heated when I watch the Super Bowl, actually. Like, I get
Heated
real
when I
heated.
call him names.
do you just pick a team and just start supporting them in the middle of the game, or
Like yeah, like
No, like, usually I know which teams are gonna go to the Super Bowl, like, right before it happens, and I know enough about most teams to know, like, I don't like this team. So, I always pit against the Patriots, because fuck the Patriots.
yeah, fuck the Patriots.
I mean, I
Go Packers.
understand. If I hadn't been a little kid obsessed with royal blue, I wouldn't be a Patriots fan now. But that's just
Listen, we all make mistakes. I was a huge Cowboys fan when I was little.
Oh no!
I was also a Dolphins fan when I was little. We
Oh.
make mistakes.
I mean, that would be fine if we were in the '80s, but
Hey, I had, like, in the 90s, like, late 90s, I had a Dolphins, like, one of those big puffer jackets. Like
Oh,
a fucking
yeah.
Dolphins
Yeah,
puffer
right
jacket.
on.
And I sported the shit out of it, like, every day. I didn't even care.
I like that vintage Dolphin shit, man.
yeah, like the teal.
looks good.
And
Oh, yeah.
teal and orange.
Yeah. Looks great.
Our next door neighbors, they're Colts fans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like the Colts.
You know, oh, you like the Colts?
I do.
Oh, okay. Fucking Indianapolis, motherfucker. They're basically just Western Ohio.
It's just Ohio with a little bit more meth. It used to be a lot more. meth,
Oh, God.
but
Yeah,
Ohio's increased their
by that
meth
logic,
production.
are we just Indiana with more heroin?
I thought Quill was trying to kill me last night, man.
Yeah, I guess maybe. I don't
Okay,
know.
listen.
Oh, this sounds like a story.
Yeah, this
Please-
sounds like a story.
Yes. Continue.
Okay, so
good interviewers.
I am from West
If you-
Virginia,
if you
right?
work with me, turn this off right now.
So I'm from West Virginia.
I've worked with people from West Virginia.
Yeah, you
Hey,
worked with a lady who drove all the way up there each week.
Yeah, she lived on like the border and like drove
Oh,
2
yeah.
hours up every day for work.
Yeah, okay. So Hawthorne Heights show. I'm not gonna say who. There were
Also
a couple.
not me either.
There were a couple.
Allegedly.
There were a couple of people who drove up for the show that I did not know previously. And we got to talking because they were like, "Hey, we loved your set, whatever." And I was like, "Oh, cool, thanks." And we started talking
Who introduced you?
because
Who
they.
introduced you to?
Oh, yeah, Matt introduced me to these people.
My man.
Okay.
But so
Good to know.
we start talking about their drive up here, and I was like, "Where are you from?" And they told me like where in West Virginia they were from, and I was like, "Holy shit, no way! Like that's so cool!" And we started just talking and talking and talking. One of the people, it was a girl and a guy. He offers pot brownie, and I don't do any drugs at all. I
Neither do I,
drink
by the
like a
way.
fish.
Side note: I don't do drugs either. so
No,
it's
he does
worse.
not. I'm like, no, thank you though. I super appreciate it. Like that you, I know you put a lot of time and effort into making those. Like, thank you so much.
Yeah, it takes a minute
So,
to make those.
well, he also makes them with hash, not canut butter.
Oh.
Exclusive. So
Yeah.
it's super potent. And I
Yes.
was like, nah. So
please, no.
he took one
boss.
and saved it, and yesterday decided to eat the whole thing.
Oh no, my dude, that's a rookie mistake.
Yeah, the whole thing. He convinced
Allegedly.
he convinced himself that I was trying to kill him because I talked to these people and we're from West Virginia, so I obviously knew them prior and made this plan to lace this brownie to kill him because I didn't like his drumming.
Oh man.
And I was like, what the fuck in your head? I was.
That's some classic pothead paranoia right there. My
There's
God.
all sorts of levels you could unpack from that experience. We won't even get into.
Yeah.
I fucked up so much shit.
He thought it was lace, and I was like, dude, it wasn't lace. Like, you should have taken a bite.
What
Like-
fucked me up is the friend that I was with was like, dude, I kind of feel like this has opioids in it, and she like said that in the whole night.
Oh yeah, and then that just
God
gets in
damn
your
it.
head, and you're just.
No.
I mean, the logic behind it is if you're gonna make pot brownies and hand it out to people, you're not putting expensive ass opioids inside the pot. Like marijuana is cheap as fuck.
The other thing is they live out of town, so even if you went to the extreme of going this paranoid about
Yeah.
it, they live out of town. Why the fuck would they give you their opioid-laced brownies to try to get a return client when you're fucking hours away?
You
Like, that makes no
understand.
fucking sense.
Exactly.
Take someone with no tolerance at all, give them a whole brownie.
You should have only had a bite.
It sounds more like your fault.
Yeah,
Like,
well, it was.
Yeah.
Well, it
Well,
was.
I think it's due to inexperience more than
Allegedly, it was my
anything.
fault.
He could have
I'm
asked. He
sorry,
could
it was
have
allegedly
asked.
It
your
was allegedly my fault, but allegedly, I had the whole thing, and I should have allegedly split it in half. So.
No, you should have even had half. You should have had a bite.
Well,
A
I
bite.
took the whole
A
fucking
small
thing.
bite.
Oh yeah, I've had
I'll
half
tell
a
you what,
brownie with a tolerance
you guys
and
wanna
just
see this
been
picture?
off the fucking
Yeah.
walls.
Let's just see this picture, man. Let's see this
Oh, there's allegedly a picture.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I
okay.
got so high.
This is gonna be
This
this is gonna be great for
I
our
put
audio
my
audience.
fucking card this close to my fucking dresser.
Jesus.
Oh my.
Yeah.
What else was there? Oh yeah, I was right. Because I was mowing the grass when I took it. So I tried to put the lawnmower back inside the garage, and I knocked over the fucking like cement on like the walkway. I just pulled it out of the ground with the tractor.
All right, how was that mowing the grass while you're just stoned off your ass?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
It was
Yeah, dude, doing chores when you're stoned is
Well, 'cause I had
real
my,
fun.
I have my music in too.
Yeah.
So my music just got louder and louder and slower, and the breakdowns were just brutal. And eventually, I was done cutting the grass.
I have become the lawnmower.
I become, yeah, basically. That's all, because the shake of the fucking lawnmower just made it hit like that, and it was just nuts.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like I've done some psychedelics and whatnot, and there's just certain things that'll just like bring it all out for you, and you're just like, oh wow, this is really intense. My God, now the grass is octopuses. That's cool.
Well, it makes me mental because like I usually don't I never have that reaction with weed ever.
Allegedly.
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 No, I did do a lot of drugs back in high school, but I've stopped doing drugs.
Yeah.
But,
Drugs are bad. Okay.
well, they're not bad.
Listen, some of them really are.
Oh yeah, some of them.
Like crocodile, no one should be doing that shit.
Let's not legalize angel dust, please.
No.
Yeah, let's not fuck with fentanyl and all that shit.
But like acid, that's okay. Allegedly.
Dude, the last time I did
yes.
acid, it was a couple years back during the blood moon. That
Oh,
happened.
dude, yes.
So
I
it
have
was
a picture of that somewhere.
me and my friends went over on the fucking river and we're just like hanging out trying to see this thing, and I really wanted to get in the water. Like I was really about it. Well, the acid finally hits, and this thought is already like so far into my head that I was like, I need to get in the water, like right
And once
now.
that thought's there,
and
it just
nobody
doesn't
would
go
let
away.
me. Nobody would let me. There was this whole thing
Probably
where
smart on their
yeah,
part. but
it was like night and like yeah. So like there was a point where like some of our friends were off skating, and like me and there was only two of us on acid. The rest of everybody was like either drinking or on Molly. And so like me and my buddy are sitting here, and we finally see the moon come out of the fucking clouds, and we just scream at the top of our lungs so that we can alert our friends, apparently, that the moon had come out. So we just scream, moon!
Look, there's a giant
Like-
rock in space.
And then we start cracking up, and we can't stop laughing for like 20 minutes. But anyway, so like
That'll happen.
It gets to a point where like me and a couple of people are like all outside because we go back to my friend's apartment and we're drinking like water and stuff. Me and a couple of like the other people ran out of water, and one of the dudes had like a huge water bottle, and we're laughing our asses off at everything. And eventually we're just like, hey man, it was specifically one of my friends, I won't say her name, but she was like, hey man, can I have a drink of your water? And he was like $5, and she was like, $5 for a drink of water? And he was like, inflation, bitch. Just like straight face as fuck.
That's some communist bullshit.
Oh my god.
And
I
then
thought this was America.
he kept his face so straight, tripping ball sack, for like a solid minute, and then just like dies laughing and throws the water bottle at her. And it was just the best thing ever. So then I go home. I had like my trip sitter with me, and
That's always good to have.
yeah, have a trip sitter.
Yes.
So like I have my trip sitter with me, go home, and like we're eating. She's trying to like get me to eat because I don't eat when I'm on acid, but she's trying to get me to eat, and like we're listening to music, we're having a good time, and then I just want to sit in the room in the dark with like the moon coming through the windows or whatever, and I like have like this whole discussion with her about how I think it's ridiculous that humans don't have a colony in the ocean yet. Because sea turtles live for 150 years, so like, why wouldn't we? It makes more sense that we should be fucking ocean people. And like,
We need to evolve to have gills.
right, it
Why
got
aren't we
to-
getting on this?
Yeah. So like, I go beyond and beyond and beyond and keep going, and then like, I really wanted to shower, because I wanted in the water so bad, and she was like, "All right, take a shower," and I was like, "Okay, can you like run it for me?" Because I was fucked, and she was like, all right, like, how hot do you want it? And I was like, swimming temperature. And she was like, what? And I was like,
the fuck does that
I
mean?
looked her dead in the face, and I was like, swimming temperature. Like,
The temperature in which I can breathe
Yeah.
underwater.
yeah.
Put a little salt in there, too.
Yeah. So then I force her to get in the shower with me, because I obviously couldn't do it by myself. And so she gets in the shower with me, and I start talking about how how it would be strange if, like, what if this is what happens when you like have your new reincarnation, your new life? Because clearly you need to be cleansed of everything in your old life, so you take a shower and then you come out of like the shower and you're coming out of a womb and you're crying because you're sad that you missed your life, whatever. So like, then we get out of the shower and I don't want to be away from water, and I was like, I'm not drying off. I'm only drying off enough to put my underwear on. And she was like, whatever. So, like, I go to put, and I wear boxer briefs. Nobody needed to know that. But, like, I go to put them on, and I'm like, why do people wear these? These are awful.
They're too constricting on my cock and balls.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about boxer briefs in
Right.
general.
So, yeah, so then I go even further, and I'm like, I have this huge gauntlet that's like a skeleton hand holding like a cup, whatever. It's like this huge gauntlet that I have. And I fill it with water, and I go and I sit back down. And like every time I start to feel like I'm drying out, because I'm some sort of fucking merman, I dip my hands in it and just rub them on my face or through my hair.
Oh my god.
And this went on for like 3 hours. I had to refill the gauntlet twice.
Aquaman's got to keep hydrated.
Yeah.
Can't dry out.
So then I started talking about what my name would be if I was a merman. So now every time I do acid, I am Sebastian the Merman.
Sebastian.
Sebastian,
Merman.
that's a good. That's
Shout out
good.
to Sebastian Shock.
Isn't that the crab from
It is.
Little Mermaid?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yo, we're just gonna take some acid and go under the sea, man.
Great. Yeah. It was
We're good.
one hell of a night, that's for sure.
Oh hell yeah.
Sounds like it.
It was like one of my last hurrahs too, because like I stopped doing everything, like a few years ago, like back. Well, obviously that was a few years ago. So.
And you probably were not a menace to society on this. It was a self-contained
No.
episode.
Yeah.
And that's my argument against, recreational psychedelics.
I'm not opposed to it. Don't look.
Oh
at
no
me.
no! Well, I have to look at somebody.
You could stare off.
You spell comfortable.
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 Thank you.
Congratulations,
I
you've won the
believe-
National Spelling Bee.
And I spelled it out 4 times. I was like, what the fuck?
Your phone is so fancy, but it doesn't have a fucking autocorrect.
It does, but then it says like convertible, and I'm like, no.
Damn, you had to fuck that up pretty bad.
I think people have the constitutional right to expand their minds and think whatever the hell they want to do, as long as they're not
What?
infringing on other people's rights.
Yeah, I agree.
That if you want to see another dimension,
If you want
Go right
to
the
sit in
fuck
a
ahead.
fucking room and do some DMT, you go for it, buddy.
yeah, hell yeah.
Please.
We're turning into the Joe Rogan experience here.
You must not get somewhere.
Hey Jamie, pull this up. There was a chimp that did DMT, and now he's the president of Africa.
Oh my God.
Because that's
Final
where
evolution
chimpanzees
of it
live.
is just
Africa.
You forcing me
Lord.
to do all the drugs that I've never done since I don't do drugs. And just,
Allegedly.
Yeah, he's not a drug boy. He's a
No,
good boy.
I mean, I don't even have to preface that with an allegedly. Everybody knows me knows I.
I don't
Yeah.
either, man. And I fucked up yesterday.
And listen,
I was hungry.
But I'm still on the same page.
I was
as Ren, like,
hungry.
I don't do it, but I
There's no
support
chocolate in
it.
the fucking house. I didn't have at least like 2 ounces of chocolate a day.
Why is that?
dear God.
Diabetes.
Okay.
Oh.
That was a joke.
You got
That's
that
no that-
hypoglycemia.
That's
Wow.
not a joke. That's not a joke.
I actually
I was
am
just saying,
hypoglycemic.
Okay, this
Oh,
is,
you are?
This is,
I am.
This is the
Ah.
joke to make me not be in trouble. I'm afraid to go to the doctor.
I think everyone in America is
So
afraid to go to the
I'm-
doctor.
Yeah.
I'm drowning out my insecurities in jokes. That's what the problem is.
Well, yeah.
All right.
Welcome to America.
Right.
America.
See, I forgot that Bryn wouldn't understand that because
What?
he always used to do that at the grocery store. as
Everything I'm
well.
sad about, I make jokes about.
Yeah.
So.
I try
That-
not to admit the name.
That's
of
how
the
we
store
cope.
that I work
That's
at.
how we cope. That's how we. That's how we
That
get
is-
over
yeah,
that.
that's the best way that millennials cope with anything is you just make jokes about that. Which
Ha ha ha! I'm never gonna be able to buy a house. Fucking memes, man. Yeah.
Fucking memes, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to.
Oh
Leave it?
yeah. Okay.
All right, so let's. Thank you for joining us
Yeah,
today.
Thank you guys for
Yeah.
being on.
Yeah, thank you for being here, and this has been a real fucking trip. So, yeah, if there's anything else you guys have to plug or whatever, feel free.
Yeah, feel free.
Well, we just launched our official website, atimeraofficial.com. We're gonna have merch for sale on there as well. So, like, if you don't get a chance to come out to shows where we have our merch stand, then you'll be able to like pick up the EP or any of that sort of stuff off of there.
Just come to our shows, man.
It has
I
all
am
of our
going
shows
to-
on there too.
I-
It has all of our.
Are you guys
upcoming
playing
stuff.
a Columbus show here soon, or
Yeah, next
Well,
Friday.
that-
You coming
yeah.
out? You guys coming out?
next Friday? I
Yeah.
will come.
Shows at
Big Room
yeah,
Bar.
I said it again earlier. but
Is this
I
gonna be
Yeah.
aired by next Friday?
forgot. Yeah, Brendan.
I'm gonna have this up tonight.
Okay,
Awesome.
cool. Yeah, then
Yeah.
next Friday, fucking be
Yeah,
there.
so feel free to use this to advertise for that as well.
Oh yeah.
We'll try to help you guys out.
All right.
Well, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks, man.
For being on.
Yeah,
Anytime
this-
you want to come on again, just let us know.
This has been fantastic. Thanks to Matt and Quill from Atimera, a local Columbus band, for coming on to the podcast and just blowing our fucking minds. It's been a real trip.
Yeah, we went ahead and shoved him out the back of the U. Well, we stopped, and then we shoved him out the back of the U-Haul, and then it just kept going. So I guess we still need to record some more content.
Yeah, they gotta find their way home. That's not our problem. Our problem is fulfilling the needs of our listeners.
And the U-Haul, because the U-Haul won't stop until it's done with us for the day.
Yeah, there's like this little bar in the corner. I don't know who installed it. It's this little digital meter, and it's at about 85% right now, and we have to fill that shit up. So,
Actually, it looks to me more like it's an 84.
oh, 84.
Okay, we got Mr. Semantics over here. Yeah.
Okay, so so this week we actually went and saw a
movie.
movie film.
I saw a movie too.
Yeah, because this is supposed to be a movie and TV podcast.
It's a movie,
Apparently,
TV, film, or it's
movie, TV, film
Movie,
podcast.
film,
What
TV.
What we do when we talk about the movies?
yeah, it's supposed to be. We just kind of, I mean, it still is. We just dabble in other things like talking to good good musicians and
Or at least better than like the local radio stations at interviewing people.
hopefully. I mean, that's always my dream is to be better at interviewing than this like 85-year-old man who's like,
So, you fellas are in a rock band.
So you play rock music, yes?
Tell me all about the rock music.
Do you listen to the Zombies? I remember when the Big Brother and the Holding Company played the Monterey Pop Festival.
Are you a fan of the Mamas and the Papas?
They also played the Monterey Pop Festival.
did they?
Yes, they did.
See, you want to talk about me and my strange football knowledge, but you're just as bad when it comes to old rock music.
That's true. I love my old rock music. My old man music. That was when the music was good. Not to say that our guests aren't good musicians. I respect their music.
I was gonna say
I like them, and I'm going to go to their concert that's coming up here soon.
record it. Record a podcast at the concert since I won't be there.
Yeah, that's going to be some unintelligible shit.
Take special correspondent Anthony with you.
So we went and saw Jim Jarmusch's The Dead Don't Die.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Jarmusch.
No, I meant Jim.
Jim?
Yeah, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, it's Jim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not Jam. As
Is
you
it Jeb?
Jeb,
Is it Jom?
Jomby,
Jombus?
Jombus, Jimbus.
I always have people tell me, so when's the Jimbus 2 coming out?
Oh, Jimbus 2 is coming out very soon.
Is it? I don't...
Very soon.
This is news to me.
No. You tell the audience it's coming out soon.
I don't
It's
like
coming out.
making promises that I can't fulfill. I'm
Oh,
not EA.
fuck promises. Fuck it. Yeah, no. I mean,
Unrelated to that, did you see that their CEO had to come out and admit that basically all of Anthem has been a complete fucking disappointment?
yeah, no fucking shit.
I know, but it's hilarious that he actually admitted it and didn't just
Oh, well,
It is you, the consumer, who is wrong. I just realized I've had my microphone backwards this entire time.
Oh, no, you're good.
But the soundy boy's right here.
No, you've been talking into it.
Well, yeah, I've been talking into it, but I haven't been talking into the right part.
Nonsense.
Oh,
We got your shit. Dude, fuck EA.
yeah.
They're fucking bullshit video games.
Oh, we didn't last week. This was just something that I meant to bring up. We didn't
yeah.
talk about when we were talking about E3. We didn't talk about their new Star Wars game.
Yeah.
Did you see that there's a decent chunk of that game that they just decided for some reason to not reveal any of the information of at E3 and instead released in a text release?
Explain.
You're gonna have like your own ship with a crew and everything, and you can fly around to the different planets, almost like a shittier Mass Effect type thing. It's,
Like Knights of the Old Republic.
yeah, it's not quite the like just really crappy like level based thing that they went out of their way to make it look like in the gameplay trailer. So I guess even when EA has something that has redeeming qualities to it, they still have to go out of their way to make it look like shit.
Yeah, I also saw that Disney themselves interfered with the production of the game and said, hey, you can't have like excessive dismemberment. Like with the lightsaber combat. So like,
Jesus.
you know, they obviously want it rated teen because apparently they think that, you know, PG-13 movies are the same as T-rated games. Like, dude, bruh. People are going to buy M-rated games no matter what. Grand Theft Auto 5 is like one of the best-selling games of all time, and that's like, you know, violent as shit.
Yes.
And they're, you know, they seem to think that like lightsaber dismemberment is some sort of like faux pas upon their franchise. Like, fuck you, dude. The first fucking Star Wars movie had a dude's hand getting entire arm being chopped off in a shady ass bar. Like, kiss my ass. That's part of Star Wars. Mm-hmm. Like, you're not about to have like a dude with a lightsaber and you can't cut people in half.
Well, and I mean, even before Disney owned Star Wars, like you could cut limbs off in one of the other Star Wars games. I can't remember if it was
Was it Jedi Outcast?
Probably. I know it was one of those the first person ones where you're like Kyle Katarn or whatever.
Yeah,
that's
that's at Jedi Academy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's two of those, I think. Yeah, there's like Jedi Academy and then Jedi Academy 2 Outcast or whatever the fuck it is.
Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo, yes.
Where you play as Kevin
the second
James.
one, Jedi Outcast, I played the fucking shit out of that one. That one is so great. Yeah, I mean, you can fuck people up. It's you know, it's not like today's modern, you know, God of War dismemberment.
Well, I don't need God of War dismemberment in my Star Wars game, but like just like you said, like just it's a fucking beam of light that in the movies cuts people's arms off. So to go out of your way to make sure, well, you can't really have that in the video game. Just
Well,
seems
what
a bit
pisses
odd.
me off, I mean, it's not like gory or anything. Like, it is canon that in Star Wars, like when you cut off a limb, the lightsaber is so hot that
Yeah,
it
it just fills it
cauterizes
back up.
it cauterizes the wound.
Which, is a nice cop out to not have to do any blood effects, anything like that.
Yeah,
And
even though in the cantina scene in the first Star Wars movie, the guy's arm that Obi-Wan chops off, there is some blood there. So, but the first movie,
Obi-Wan was also old, so it's not like he was swinging it at full speed. It's like just using a hot butter knife instead. Like, he got it in there and got through most of it, but it was so weak, it didn't really, like, seal it all up.
old people be like that.
Old people be sticking their hot butter knives everywhere, not sealing up things correctly.
All right, so we saw a movie film.
Enough of the Star Wars. We saw a movie, did star Mr. Star Wars himself, Adam Driver.
Yes, Kylo Ren himself was in it.
It also had a joke about Star Wars as well, which is great.
It did.
I hope that was just already in the script, but I'm sure it was just added once they casted him.
Yeah, like, oh, hey, it's Mr. Star Wars. Let's put a fucking Star Wars joke in this bitch.
I love the fact that, and I know I've said this before multiple times, but I just want to emphasize it again. I love that Adam Driver continues to just be in the most strange shit outside of being in probably the second biggest movie franchise right now, because now the Marvels
Other than Marvel, yeah.
Now the Marvels are the biggest.
Yeah. Well, we can get into how Star Wars has an impact on pop culture, at some other time. But yeah.
Oh, we've gotten into it many times.
Yeah, no, yeah, I know, and every goddamn. Who the fuck is riding their goddamn motorbike down this street?
I know, trying to
Fuck
fucking
off.
crash into
Fuck
the side
off.
of our U-Haul.
Yeah, we're trying to record a fucking podcast, you piece of shit.
Yeah, I can't see them because there's just walls around me, but like he's just idling right next to the
Yeah,
fucking U-Haul.
so we saw The Dead Don't Die, directed by
Jim Jarmusch,
Jarmusch,
starring Adam Driver, Bill Murray,
Tilda Swinton,
Chloe Sevigny,
yes, and many more.
Danny Glover.
Danny Glover was in it. I didn't realize that was Danny Glover until
really?
after the fucking movie. I was like, oh, that was Danny Glover.
He looked the way that he does in the original Saw.
Yeah.
Like it's funny because that was makeup at the time.
Dude, he used to be fucking jacked as shit.
Yeah.
That's where I'm just like, when he's just like a random dude, like old dude, I'm just like, oh shit, that's Danny Glover.
But do you remember his character in the original Saw?
Oh yeah.
It's funny because like that was makeup to make him look like that at the time, but that's just I get it's just times the way that time progresses, but it's just
Old
funny
people
he
get
looks
old.
exactly like it. They did an accurate aging on him, I guess.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, so what did you think of the movie, Alex?
I enjoyed it. It's got a fair amount of issues. I'm pretty split on it between that and Under the Silver Lake as the best films I've seen this year. But that says more about the quality of all the other films that we've seen this year, because both this and Under the Silver Lake, which I will get into more detail at a later date once you've been able to see it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
They're both just movies that I love the concept of. I love so much about them, but they have so many fucking issues that it's hard for me to ever recommend them.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is with these sort of indie-ish movies, like we're like, fuck yeah, I love the fact that these are being made, but they're not perfect. Which you want every movie that you think you will like to be perfect, but in the end, like when they're when you actually see them, like this movie we saw, and it's just like, wow, there are so many things I would change about that. Like,
It just feels like, was it that the studio was putting weird, like, limits on things, or was it that the studio did not give you enough of a limit on anything? and let you run wild on shit that you needed just a little bit of pullback on.
I think it was the latter with this movie because I don't know who funded this movie or what the distributor is. I didn't look it up.
I should have been professional and looked
Alex
that up,
is
but I
looking
didn't.
it up, but yeah.
Well, fucking Buckthorn's not going to.
So, Jim Jarmusch is, like, he's been known as, like, a pretty, cult indie filmmaker, since the 80s. The only other thing I've seen by him is Coffee and Cigarettes.
Did that have coffee and cigarettes in it?
It sure did. I've seen the full movie, which is a compilation of a series of shorts he did, like through the 80s, 90s, I think. Focus Features.
Yeah, Focus
did
Features.
it. Okay, yeah, they usually do, good shit. But yeah, anyway.
Yes.
So that's basically just like people are sitting in a diner. It's in black and white. They're smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee and just having a conversation improvised. And that sort of thing, like when I, first saw that, I was like, wow, I really love this because, there's Tom Waits, Iggy Pop, Bill Murray, Jack White, Meg White, all in there. And, it's awesome to see them just sort of have a casual conversation. He, obviously he's directed actual scripted movies, which have been, kind of cult movies over the years and all of that. But this is the first actual, movie I've really seen of his. And it drags a bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of my only complaint, and I get where the direction was going, where it's like, okay, here's an average town. Most zombie movies will have, everyone's eating each other, every 3 fucking seconds, and all that shit. But there was just so many unnecessary plot lines in this movie where I think that they could have condensed it and expanded upon the actual important plot lines, which I see as Bill Murray and Adam Driver's characters. They're the main characters.
Yeah.
With the lady cop, I forget her name. Chloe, whatever.
Something very bizarre.
So her character, yeah, and the 2 cops. The cops should have,
the
3 cops are like the main characters. And then you have Tilda Swinton's character, who is the
Minerva. That was
Minerva. Yeah,
Chloe.
she's like the weirdo.
No. Minerva was the cop lady. Tilda was Zelda.
Zelda. Yes.
With the Scottish accent.
Which, yeah, she's
And
Scottish.
the incredibly bizarre. Was that a wig? It was like.
I don't know, but she
very bizarre hair. Sorry.
Yeah, so her whole she was the not the Undertaker, the
Mortician.
the Mortician. And then there was the kids who were traveling into the town from Cleveland.
Oh, those kids! I thought you meant the other group of kids.
No. They're useless. They're cut from my version of this movie.
Oh, you're talking about... Okay, yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you're
no.
just talking about your
the
version.
Selena Gomez and the weird millennials.
Her fuckboys.
Yeah, the fuckboys. They should have had a more prominent role in this movie and then died because spoilers, by the way. I don't know if anyone listening to this is
I don't
actually.
think anyone saw this movie.
But yeah, it there was just too many unnecessary bullshit plot lines.
Oh yeah.
I think that the Danny Glover and the fucking shopkeep kid.
Yes.
Needed to be expanded a little more.
Caleb Landry Jones, who just...
Yeah, I've seen him in stuff.
Yeah, he was in 3 Billboards, and he's always really good, but really small in all these movies. And he was the fucking brother in Get Out, the lacrosse bro dude.
Yeah. The kid that knew, like, judo or fucking whatever.
That was it, yeah. Wasn't it lacrosse because he like used a lacrosse stick to like hit him or I don't know. It
I
doesn't
guess.
matter.
I thought he was like more.
No,
Whatever.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so, yeah, there was just all these bullshit plot lines that didn't go anywhere. Like, the absolute worst part was the, what do you call them?
The kids in prison? Or
Well, the juvenile,
juveniles?
the juvenile detention kids, which they
were in the
named,
CDC.
the CDC, which was like, the town it was in was Centerville, so I think it was like the Centerville Detention Center.
Yeah. Which,
Something like that, and it's like, oh, ha, 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 how fucking subtle is that? Ha, 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 CDC, because there's a zombie outbreak, and it's the Center of Disease and Control.
Yeah.
Ha, 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 aren't you funny?
You know, that laugh doesn't sound very genuine, Bryn.
I wouldn't have had a problem with that if that plot line went anywhere.
Yeah, if it mattered.
Yeah, but it didn't. The very last scene that those kids were in, it was just like, I know a place where we can hide. And then they ran away, and then there was 20 more minutes of that movie, and nothing happened.
From them. And even like what should have at least been like a mildly like threatening scene with like the zombies breaking into the CDC. You know, the CDC.
Yeah.
They just hide in the closet and then disappear for another like 20
They
minutes.
didn't
in the
do
film.
anything.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Their only purpose was to have the one like bullshit exposition line when they see that the Earth has been polar fracked. But Adam Driver already gives that anyway because he's already read the script of the film.
Yeah, well, and that's another thing I liked about the movie was the breaking of the fourth wall,
Oh, yeah, that
which
was
is sort of
great.
like shattering those tropes of, you know, these kind of disaster movies or, you know, the zombie movies, the outbreak movies.
What's the theme song?
Yeah. So, like, when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's great, you know, it's going to have, like, some sort of commentary. But then it just had this pretentious fucking climate change, you know, like,
And you say that as probably the person that I know who's most concerned with climate change. Out of every person in my life, you're probably the most concerned about climate change. I just want to add that on there so that somebody's not like, oh, they're just burying their heads in the sand about, you know,
Oh
something.
no, yeah, no,
I
thank
just
you,
wanted to
thank
add
you.
that.
Like, I actually give a shit, and you know, when I'm seeing a movie, if you're gonna add something like that, like, you better have a fucking point. There better be a fucking end game with that.
Yes, when you do it and you have nothing to actually add to it other than like, yeah, we need to stop climate change, but you know,
And if you're gonna have like some sort of like subtle statement, have a subtle statement, like Night of the Living Dead, the
Yeah.
George Romero original movie, which was sort of a statement on racial politics or, you know,
it wasn't
whatever.
sort of a statement. It was. A statement.
Oh no, absolutely, yeah, but they at least did it in a way where it wasn't just like obnoxious.
Well, yeah, you'd have the to tie it into this, the Steve Buscemi's character who just wears his random "Make America White Again" hat, but is
he's
then best friends with Danny Glover, who is
Yeah.
a black man.
Yes.
They don't like there's things you can do with that, with the fact where, like, you know, these Trump supporters have become radicalized by him, and it's causing them to look at their previous relationships with people of other ethnicities, and the fact that they're supporting someone who so, you know, seems to despise people who aren't white.
Right.
There's so much you can do with that, and they're just like,
There's nothing.
they
He
just
he
share
just
an
fucks
awkward
up.
look because he says his coffee is black.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't mean it like that. My coffee's black, even though I'm obviously a fucking racist.
Yeah.
And then he just fucks off back to his farm.
Yeah.
And then dies.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that.
But like the level of subtlety in the original zombie movie, oh my god, you've said it 4 times now.
Night of the Living Dead.
Thank you. I just
Directed by George Romero.
Well, yeah, I know that. I just didn't want to use the wrong day after, you know, tea time. I didn't want to,
Yeah.
because I always get those mixed up in my head. That movie had the level of subtlety that Mr. Blatant Racist, like Steve Buscemi's character, would have watched, and then been like, "Oh, it was a pretty cool zombie movie," and gotten nothing of the racial undertones from that.
Right, but those who are like, oh, wow, there's, you know, something here. you know, will obviously see that kind of shit.
Whereas
And,
this movie's just beating you over the head about it, but then isn't actually saying anything either. It's
it's just obnoxious.
it's just standing in the middle of the room and it's screaming. It's like, climate change!
Hey, check it out. Hey, look, we're ruining the earth. Like, yeah, we fucking get it. Like,
you're like, yeah.
I'm trying to be entertained by a fucking movie. If you have a point, make it clear.
Yeah, no, it's literally that kid who's like acting up for attention. You're like, okay, what do you have to say? And it's like, yeah, I don't know.
All right, Beyblades. My Bionicles. Yeah. And don't get me started on the worst fucking line of this movie.
I loved it.
I thought that the script overall was very cheesy, but like if it was done in a specific way, it would have been okay because it's sort of satire or whatever. But oh my god, yeah. So the Selena Gomez and her fuckboys go to this rest stop which is like a gas station run by this like nerdy dude.
Caleb Landry Jones.
Yeah.
Well, his character at least.
And one of the fuckboys calls him Frodo because he's a nerd or whatever. And then he references Night of the Living Dead because the chick, Selena Gomez, drives the same car as one of the characters in that. And she turns to him as they're leaving and she says, "Your film knowledge is impressive." And then there's these golden sparkles, like CGI sparkles, After Effects, put around her head.
Is that when they popped up? I thought they popped up when Adam Driver saw her.
No.
At the hotel.
No, it was at the gas station. And I'm just like, oh my god, this is fucking terrible. Hey,
Yeah.
you're referencing an old zombie movie that did your premise better. Ha 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 ha, isn't that funny? Fuck you.
Oh, he also had the Nosferatu t-shirt as well that he made himself, even though it looked like
Yeah.
an official.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Usually in a movie, when you have something being homemade, you try to make it look a little shittier. This looked like he just got it right off the shelf at H&M and put it on.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, the script was just very bad.
Yeah. And
It could have been better.
well, and that's why I was saying, like, you know, maybe there was and obviously you're most likely right about there not being any studio interference, but it's just like you get the feeling that like some of this had to have been tacked on because it just makes no sense to be there. Like,
Yeah.
like the kids in the CDC, or even like adding in Selena Gomez's thing, like, yeah, you gotta put the pop star in the movie so people will go see it because Bill Murray's not a big draw anymore. Nobody likes seeing Adam Driver when he doesn't have the Star Wars mask on.
Yeah, even though he's like one of the most underutilized Hollywood.
Yeah.
I respect the fuck out of him for like only doing really one big franchise and then doing a bunch of like, you know, shit like Black Klansman.
Yeah.
Where, you know, he can actually show his acting ability.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, most of the shit that he's in outside of it isn't commercially successful. Like,
Yeah.
Like, we saw Logan Lucky. He was great in that. That movie didn't make much money.
No? Didn't win any awards or anything. I thought it was fucking great.
Yeah. And he was the best part of Midnight Special, along with Daddy Shannon. But that's because Daddy Shannon's good in everything.
Papa Shannon has been in a Best Picture award-winning film,
What was that?
The Shape of Water.
Oh,
Yeah, he was
Yeah, but
he
no,
was Michael Shannon
I'm saying
in The Shape of Water. He was
yeah.
evil boy man.
But he was also, like, Shannon was in Midnight Special with
Yeah.
Adam Driver. Mm-hmm. And then Adam Driver was in Don Quixote, and he was the best part of that movie for sure.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, my biggest issue, like the script as well, I agree about, but just the direction during the action sequences was so fucking laughably just bad. It was just
Yeah.
like if, and it doesn't have to be exciting because I know that's part of the point as well. But
It's not an action movie.
And
It's
I get
not a
that.
movie where, like, you know, it's gratuitous zombie violence. I mean, every time they killed a zombie, there was just, like, black dust that floated
Yeah.
out of them, which is fine, you know, if you want to go for that. But, like, the other aspects of your movie need to make sense.
Well, not only that, but just it's stupid to do it so poorly, especially if you're trying to go for that whole intentional route, but then still have so much of it in it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just like it's it's not like in Zombieland they probably other than the final scene in the carnival they probably kill like 6 zombies the whole rest of the movie, right?
Right.
And that's even for like an action comedy type thing. Like that's was it Ruben Fleischer,
I don't know.
something like that?
I don't fucking know.
Like he does that really well. Like the action scenes in that are relatively engaging. They're fun, like they're enjoyable.
Yeah.
And this is just miserable, like especially the final scene when they're just stomping through the graveyard, like shooting zombies.
I have a shotgun and I have a machete and here we go.
Ties into my baseball career.
Which there's no stakes because like I get the whole like meta. Hey, I've read the script and we're obviously going to die, but that kind of ruins the stakes of the movie. It kind of it diminishes the fact that. Oh, these heroes that you're following die at the end. Mm-hmm. And there's a way to do that right.
And this is not that.
And this was not the way to do that right. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you how you do that right, but it was not a satisfying way to do that sort of thing. I really like the lead up to that where, when he was when they're in the police car surrounded by zombies and Adam Driver's like, I know how this ends, do you want to know? Are you sure you want to know? I read the script and there was that little back and forth like, oh, Jim give you the entire script?
He only gave me the parts
he only gave me my scenes and everything I've done for this son of a bitch. That kind of shit. That's funny, but
didn't he like look directly in the camera and he's like, and you don't even know all of it or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, hell yeah, Bill Murray. Fuck yeah. But like when you get to the actual end scene and it's just so anticlimactic like that, you're just like, it's just so unfulfilling.
I would say, and again, like you said, we shouldn't be just, rewriting it ourselves, but like, fuck, just have them come out and immediately get eaten. Like, that would have been funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, Alex, how many potatoes?
I told you, man, I'm not good with this arbitrary rating system.
Yeah, fuck these ratings.
What I will say is, like I said, it's just like Silver Lake, which we'll get into once Bryn actually sees it.
Yes.
It's enjoyable. Like, don't get me wrong, I've said nothing but negative things about it, but it's still enjoyable. It's incredibly funny. And the non-action scenes are done pretty well. It's just the action is just not handled well at all, in my opinion. I'd still, like I said, I liked it, but I can't recommend it, so... I don't know. See it if you want. See it when it's free on Netflix or something, because I'm sure it'll get dumped there pretty soon. Yeah. Bryn, what do you say?
Yeah, I'd say if you're into that kind of shit, if you're a fan of Jim Jarmusch, see it, make your own assessment of it. I wouldn't suggest it for a wide audience.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite movies the last, however many years.
No.
I've definitely seen better, but, it was fun. I like seeing, I think that Bill Murray and Adam Driver had really good chemistry. Mm-hmm. I really like Tilda Swinton's character. I wish they did.
She's so weird.
I wish they did
more with her.
She's never bad in anything. I wish they did a little more with her tying into plot lines, but it wasn't.
We won't even touch that.
Yeah, but overall, 2.5 baked potatoes out of 5. I wouldn't say it's a very good movie. Maybe it's one of those that, down the line I see again, I'm like, wow, I really, but my initial impressions are not very good. It's alright.
So what would you say, just real quick off the cuff, is so far the best movie you've seen this year?
Dude, what movies have we even fucking seen
this year? Well, that's what I'm saying. No, but...
I don't even remember. Dude, there's so many goddamn fucking movies.
Shit that we've seen.
And just...
Because I'm definitely not going to say Endgame, because... No.
No, I didn't. I wasn't a huge fan of that. But,
Just give us something. Just throw a movie name out.
Rick and Morty season
Oh god,
season
damn
2.
it! He's fucking done it again.
Rick and Morty 100.
Thank you guys for listening. Have a good night or a good day, whatever
Good
time
day.
of day
Whenever
it is.
the hell you're listening to this.
Yeah, thanks to Atimera for climbing into the U-Haul earlier and then getting shoved out later.
Yeah, thanks Matt and Quill.
Yeah.
You guys are fucking great.
Yeah, go see them on Friday at that disaster relief show because it's really fucking selfless of them
Dayton, Ohio.
to play a benefit show. It's really cool.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah. All right, you guys have a good night and stay creamy.
Cream your pants.